On this week's episode, Screaming for Your Sanity, where in the world you can send that vocal frustration out into the void. And the most common type of debt that might stop you from finding love. Also, a celebrity caught on camera with carpet in her bathroom, who she is now blaming for the decorating decision. Welcome to another episode of Anchors Away. I am a quite raspy Robert Burns, along with Norma Holland. Excuse me. Both of us former TV news anchors who now have this show that we literally just get to talk and make fun of the stories that we would normally have covered while we were on air, or what we would probably say during commercial breaks that you don't get to watch. So thank you for listening, and remember to subscribe for free. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. We're pretty much all over the place. Also, leave us a rating, leave us a comment, let us know what you like, what you don't like. Meanwhile, as I rattle through our opening spiel, Norma Holland is on the other side.
Hello, friend. Good to see you again.
I am so raspy right now.
Yeah. Funny you should say that. I just had a thought today. I remembered last year I lost my voice. It was last March, and it was the worst laryngitis, and it wasn't even laryngitis. It was and I had to go see a specialist. I mean, my voice was gone. I sounded like this.
Was it the literal worst?
Oh, it was the literal worst. I mean, you take your worst raspy day and multiply it by 10.
Oh, man.
Had to see a therapist, and they had to put a camera down my throat where they showed my vocal cords moving, and when I said certain words, that was not fun. And then it just sort of eased on away. I took.
They never really found out what the thing was, what the issue was. No. They didn't say, was it when you said S's or, Y's or whatever kind of letter it was that might have been causing it?
No. And, when you're an anchor, you talk for hours at a time. And in our case, it was a 4-hour morning show. Mm-hmm. So I was talking for 5 hours out of an 8-hour day straight, and so it was hard. And it was a challenge, right? So, but it was weird. And so, I mean, I did everything, Robert. I was drinking honey
with the tea. Yep.
The straight honey. I did tea and honey, then I did straight honey, then I did honey with lemon, and then I did Cepacol, I did Fisherman's Friend.
Oh,
I
honey.
was doing so many things.
That's a lot. That's a lot to go. But you're right. You have to sit there and you have to read and you have to talk and you have to pretend like you're holding it together. Did you ever get to a point? Because I know I have, but get to a point where you couldn't hide it anymore and you just had to muscle your way through any sort of television read or interview or whatever it is.
I got more messages from people, you sound raspy. Yes, I know. It varied from, you sound sexy to, which was weird. And then they were like, you sound awful. You should go home. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't have a bank of days off that I can just go dip into, right? Truthfully, if I was going to do it right, I should have taken off a whole month, honestly, and just rested my voice. But you don't rest your voice when you're a parent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to write stuff down on a piece of paper and give it to my 1-year-old,
Your kids aren't going to read it. Come on.
They don't read.
Who are we joking?
So it was terrible. So yeah, if anyone is, if you've ever lost your voice, I would suggest, if it gets really bad, go see a specialist, because it's worth it to see, like you said, what it is I was doing with my voice that was causing that, right?
And there's, there's a lot, and I'm drinking coffee right now because I'm that guy who at night, as we record this at night, I can drink coffee and then go right to sleep. It does nothing to me. Nope, I'll be asleep by about 9:30, 10 o'clock, it's just a warm beverage that coats my throat on the way down. It doesn't do anything for me, but, having to deal with, and this is very random because it's only happened in the past hour or so, but having to deal with, throat issues, stuff like it's frustrating. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's probably not the worst thing in the world. In your case, it might have been the literal worst, but it's not the worst thing in the world. There are other things that we can sit there and just yell about and scream about.
Yeah.
And now as we start one of our first stories of the show here, now there's an option for that.
I love this.
This is a story I stumbled upon just by going through random articles online here, and it is exactly what a lot of us need right now in this time of COVID, of quarantine, of all of this stuff that we don't want to deal with. And what it is sometimes, we mentioned, you just want to scream, right?
Yeah, you just want to let it out.
Have you ever been to Iceland, perhaps?
No.
Okay.
Would love to.
It's beautiful from what I can tell on the pictures and online. But you don't have to go to Iceland right now because you can't, but you don't have to go to be a part of the scenery and be a part of the tourist scene. Because there's a website that the country of Iceland has created. And because, they have all those vast mountains, they have all of that wonderful land as far as the eye can see. They have all of that out there. So you can just scream normally and it would echo. That's what normal people would do. Well, now they've got the website where you can, from the comfort of your own home, send your scream to those mountains.
Oh, I'm sorry that you were going to play a solid clip of it. I want to hear these people screaming.
You want to hear
bad.
it? Okay, here it is. They've got on the website, we'll put a link in the description below, you can listen to other people's screams who have done this. You go on the website, you record your scream, and it goes out, and it sounds something like this as we wait for it to load. That's not a good scream, Camilla from London. What was the other one? Ah, Camilla, that one's...
Nah, honey.
That's
Camilla,
no good.
that ain't happening.
We're going to try Molly. Molly had a scream I think we listened to earlier before the show.
Molly girl, that's weak.
That was weak.
That was weak.
But
I want to hear someone belt it out. I want to hear someone
hear...
like Rocky from the mountain in Russia when he's yelling Drago's name. He's like, Drago!
Oh, you're pulling up that Drago again, aren't you?
I miss hugging my friends!
I don't know what that was. Some guy from Brooklyn.
These are weak.
These are not the screams that I would put out there. We'll try Sammy from the U.S. here, because you can do this from anywhere in the world. It's the web. I feel like these screams are people in their apartment trying not to annoy the people next door. It's just a very subdued...
Let me give you some tips, because the article actually has some great tips for you, okay? To get and again, you can choose from 7 locations. I mean, where do you want? You want to be on a roof? I mean, you want to be in front of a waterfall? Mm-hmm. You want to be on a black sand beach? I mean, you pick the location where your scream is going to end up being played, and then you can actually hear your scream being played, in said location. But to get the most, right, out of it, this is the advice. You want to mentally step back, all right? Rob, mentally step back. You are an infant. Okay. You'll want to embrace that level of wailing. Your diaper's dirty. You are hungry and mama's not coming. Okay. It's got to come from your soul, from a place where most of our feelings sit. Okay. And then before you let out that scream, okay, you're going to want to think about why you're doing it. Yeah. You may be angry and frustrated. Yeah. It's hard, in these, circumstances today. But your scream, right, needs to come from a more intentional place. This is going to help you let it go.
Kai.
This is stupid. What are these people posting? I feel like we need to post some real ones to show the world how to do it properly.
I want to hear, I want some Jennifer Hudson. I want like a Jennifer Hudson scream, like, from your soul.
I'm tired.
Sounds like Gabrielle is tired. She's sick and tired of being sick and tired.
She's like, eh.
Nah. I feel like they're faking it. I really do. I do feel like they're going through the motions here. It's not the real one.
Ask any parent who's been cooped up in a house with their kids for 4 months, and you'll hear a scream. You'll be like, they'll be screaming into their pillows. Ah!
Just record some of the screams probably going on in the house right about now,
or
and
yelling,
you'll get
go upstairs.
Pure gold. Pure gold is what it is. And we've gotten screamed at way worse by our parents.
Oh, heck yeah.
If you record some of those 80s screams, Iceland's got nothing on it. Iceland would be scared.
You get a mad Puerto Rican mom at you, that's loud. That's real loud. Okay.
She might throw something at you as well.
You know, a chancleta, which is a house shoe, a slipper.
There are projectiles involved when it comes to certain families and certain
Wooden spoons.
Wooden spoons, sandals, books, whatever's handy. You just piss off a woman to a certain point. Whatever is going to get thrown at you is there.
You gotta get it.
So that's an easy way to let out some frustration this week. If you go on the website, again, the link will be in the description below, and just let it out. Just show these people in the UK, in Australia, everyone, just show them how the hell we do it here in the hood.
That's right. You got to do it from your soul.
Way
You
down.
gotta let it out.
So you want to take a quick break?
I want to hear about this next story that you found, because this is a good one. You know, we talked about dating. Dating during COVID, tough times, right? Tough times. Well, imagine if you were judged on not just your appearance or how handsome or pretty you are, but something else. A very interesting set of criteria being used by millennials these days to judge your date worthiness.
All right, we do want to thank our sponsor for this show, Anchor. It's the easiest way for us to bring you the podcast. They give us everything we need. It's all in one place. And most importantly, it's all free. Everything on our iPhones, on our iPads, on our computers, all the creation tools to edit, it's all included, and they distribute the show for us. Send it to Spotify, send it to Apple, send it to Google. So you can start your own podcast, get in on the game, download the Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. This news just in right now, Americans have a boatload of student debt. In case you didn't know, we were all broke as a joke, chasing that dollar. Going to school, really, college was more the experience than the degree. You could get DeVry and pretty much do most of the same jobs out there. Probably have a lot less debt, too. But there is a new study out, because there's studies for everything. 27% of millennials say that they consider a partner's student loan debt before getting too involved with them. Are you surprised?
No. I think this is actually very practical. I'm going to say it. I think if you meet someone and they are charming and they are, this is like 40s me talking, okay? Because when I was in my 20s, I
mom
would have never,
that's 100% talking.
I would have never thought of this, though. So imagine you're dating someone, they're hot, you're so into them, right? And then you find out they've got a mountain of student loan or just debt, period. We're talking 30 grand or more, or just debt. They just make bad financial decisions. Do you really want to be with someone like that? Right? And what does that say about the rest of them? I'm just saying.
I think if you're looking at it from that point of view, yeah, because later on, your debt is our debt, the way it's supposed to be. Your debt is our debt. And we're going to have to figure this out, whether it comes to getting a house or having kids or getting a car or minivan or whatever the hell it is you want to do. Our debt gets in the way. Now, men, apparently in this study, were much more likely than women to consider their partner's student debt. So, from a practical woman standpoint, you were on the right direction. You just had the gender upside down.
I did. Men are looking for not only women that, are, I don't know what they're looking for, because I can't understand you men, okay? But amongst the many things that they're looking for in a mate is how good you are with money. How much debt are you carrying? What are you bringing?
How much of my money are you going to spend after we get together? How broke am I going to be?
How much of my
3 months into this relationship? That's really the question. How much of this? How broke is this going to make me? You're cute. You're pretty. Sex is fantastic. But how much is this going to cost me? All right.
How broke you going to make me, lady?
Exactly. So,
it's interesting.
It is. And some couples even, after you get to the dating point, you get serious, you get married. But some couples have blamed their divorce on the amount of student loan debt. It's one of the reasons why millennials are now signing more prenups. We're starting to see that more.
Oh.
Which brings up a funny Seinfeld reference when George Costanza asks Susan to marry the prenup, and he's broke as a joke, and she laughs at him. She says, "Yeah, I'll sign the papers. Bring them along." They were way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
So
I remember. Debt. I remember thinking about that. Like when I first heard about prenups, I'm like, that's crazy. Why? You should marry someone and not be worried about what they bring in or what they're. And it's interesting because more women in this survey would marry for love and not worry about debt
Mm-hmm.
than men.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute, ladies, come on here. But no, I think it's absolutely something you need to look at. You're going to fight over money. You're going to get married to someone. You're going to fight over money. You're going to be a spender. He's going to be a saver, or vice versa. All right. And you're going to fight over it. So I think that, yeah, if you're bringing in a boatload of debt, and then you're going off and spending all your money on, I don't know, ATVs or motorcycles or whatever toys you want, okay? No, that ain't going to happen. You got to talk about money. You've got to talk about it.
So the average student loan debt in this study here, this is graduating students out of 2018 is the statistic that they used, and they must have been doing associate's degrees because they say the debt average is about $30,000. That seems low to me.
Way low.
Someone who went to school and ended up with $100,000 on the bill when you look at how much each semester costs for 4 years, or in my case 5 years because I had to do it the hard way. So there's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of money still, even if it is $30,000. Hi, my name's Robert. So you want to get in on this $400 a month payment with me for the next 45 years?
Ugh.
Homegirl's turning around and walking away right at that point.
I mean, you're pretty, but I mean,
my hair ain't that good.
Look, ain't anything about the hair. You got great hair. You're pretty. I might have to be like, I don't know, though. I don't know, Robert. I might have to stop.
Might
Think
have to
about
have a conversation. We might have to eat leftovers for a while.
Left for a while? Brother, you better get Dave Ramsey up your life is what you need to. Never mind about you for a while.
I will go
That's
Robert
for the next
Irvine on
40
you
years.
if that's the case, and I will start cooking up a storm. But $30,000 in debt. Now, the average answer that was a deal breaker, and this is probably where I'm going to leave the statistics over this. What is the deal breaker number, Norma, to you? If you were to go, and it's been a while, but if you were to go out on a first date with someone or a third date, and they said, "Hey, I've got this much debt," and it came up, what's the deal breaker number for you?
All right, anything over, if it's over 30 or 40 grand, we I don't know.
According to this study, you are generous. The average answer was $61,932, a very specific amount, which is the deal breaker for people when it comes to dating.
Wow. I would be willing, but I would be willing to like forgive that. If you came to the relationship with a lot of debt, but you were already on a repayment plan, you froze all your credit cards, you don't use credit, and you're sort of frugal. Okay, but you can't be too frugal because then that's going to turn off too. But if you already
broke. You better be working that. You better be using that degree.
And you better be working that plan, that repayment plan. If you're not working that plan, then this is not going to work. Do you know what I'm saying? Because then it's going to be like, oh, what am I supposed to fund your lifestyle? And am supposed to fund and continue to fund your bad decisions? Come on.
Yeah, not a lot of people are going to go for that. Not a lot of women are going to go for that. There's an old saying that goes along with it, and I think we'll end it with this note because we love our songs.
No.
If you want to be
with me. No romance with no finance.
We have a little too much fun sometimes.
I swear to you, when you said what song, I'm like, I know where he's going.
You knew exactly where it was going. I had to stretch it so I could find some time here and try and make up a few words in between. But that's the deal breaker for a lot of millennials out there. The other deal breaker for me might be if I went to a woman's home for the first time and I said, as you always do when you go to somebody, where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? Do you mind if I use the bathroom? Where's your nearest bathroom? There's maybe a guest bathroom, maybe their bathroom, and then you go see how messy they are. I don't really go in the medicine cabinets, but I just glance around, see if there's towels or drawers or whatever it is on the floor.
I don't really go in the medicine cabinet.
I don't really care for them. I don't need to see what's going on in there. But if I went to somebody's house and they had some damn carpet on the bathroom floor, I would be very concerned and confused.
Yes.
And that's what happened with actress Demi Moore. Demi, whatever. Put the I wherever you want it.
Lord. Lot.
So there was a post that she put up on one of her social media channels, and it showed a picture of her doing her podcast. She has a podcast because, like I said in the show, everybody's got one. Why not?
Everybody got podcasts.
So there's a picture of her doing her podcast, and she is in a room, and there's a couch in the room. This is a very large bathroom. But there's a couch in the room, there's a counter on the back, and then in the very corner, you see a toilet. A full-blown, and it's not a design decision. This is the toilet.
It's an ugly couch, too.
It is an ugly, low-riding couch, but you can see her background. She's got her laptop, her camera set up, and everything on there. And so people saw that there was a damn toilet in the corner next to some stone wall, and they lost their minds. And they started making fun of her and calling her out.
Nasty.
I would too. So she went on, and she had to clarify and justify her home decor. So she went on headline news or she, gave some sort of interview, and she blamed somebody else. Who else to blame but your ex, right?
Actually, because this is the house, again, that my children grew up in. And that originally was a Bruce Willis choice.
Okay.
So not to put it off on him. We also live in the mountains where it gets very cold. So it's never bothered me.
It would bother the hell out of me to walk into a bathroom with some carpet.
Funky. And she's got her shoes on in there, too. Sorry, living in the woods. Okay, I know you got some cash. You can run some of those little heater things under the floor. Okay, Demi? I know you got some money. You could get a different floor. The carpet in the bath. That's funky.
Ugly LA boots on. No offense to anybody in LA. We love you. But these are some ugly ass LA boots and an ugly couch and an ugly brown doo-doo colored carpet in the bathroom. So you can have warm feet when you wake. How many times are you waking up in the middle of the night to go pee? Really, that you need to have carpet on the floor. Just wear some house slippers. Didn't we all have house slippers back in the day? Put some house slippers on.
I just ordered a pair. They came in from Amazon today. Okay.
That's one of my favorite things about being an adult.
Doodoo colored carpet.
This is a doodoo color. If you look at the picture, the link will be in the description of this episode. It is a doodoo colored carpet. There's no other way to say it without being somewhat clean in this show.
If that carpet was like beige or taupe, do you know the horror story it would tell? Do you know the horror story it would be written on the surface of nasty? Okay.
Who's cleaning? And you can clearly see the carpet goes around the toilet. It's not cut off. There's not tile there. Who's shampooing the carpet? Who's cleaning? Because we all know what the back of a toilet looks like in the back area on the floor. Nobody really cleans all the way back there. We understand that. What the hell does that look like in this house?
If I was Stanley Steamer, I would deny them service. I'd be like, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there.
Nope, I would charge extra. I'd be like, hey, man, I'm at Demi Moore's house, but I am leaving for all the wrong reasons because she's got carpet in her bathroom. And she had to justify it, and she blamed it on Bruce Willis. Don't blame Bruce Willis. He saved us all during Die Hard when the Nakatomi Plaza was being taken over. You can't blame Bruce Willis.
You don't blame Bruce Willis. I mean, you could say Ashton Kutcher. I can never say his last name.
Kutcher?
Maybe Ashton Kutcher.
I'd blame Ashton. He looks like a carpet having kind of guy. He looks like he would. Ashton looks like he doesn't care.
Ashton looks like a Horatio.
He's
Horatio would have carpet in his bathroom.
Horatio would have carpet in his bathroom.
You know, I'm sorry, that's just disgusting.
And he would brag about it.
No, I think carpet's gross anyway. I really do. Like, okay, if you've got if you get it maintained, like if you get it shampooed, twice a year, I don't know, whatever, that's cool. I grew up in a house with wall-to-wall carpet. My mother was a smoker.
Oh, man.
So,
well, that aroma never left in that case.
Well, then my parents wised up, got rid of all the carpeting. Thank God we never grew up with any allergies. We never had an allergy. But you know what? I just feel like carpets absorb everything, right? dirt, smells, and if I can't clean it, I don't know it's clean. It bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I got to see the floor.
See, I prefer the hardwood, or at least a tile floor, whatever it is, something hard, non-carpet, because I have so much dog hair from Bastion, and he sheds so much. Now, in the bedroom is okay. I'll give you, if I have to have one room carpet.
Yeah,
bedroom,
okay.
fine. That's fine. I'll have an area rug somewhere else just for some decoration. But other than that, carpet is really not. I will turn the heat on before I need to have the carpet in my bathroom, for instance.
An area rug. That's why they sell bath rugs. You can wash them.
I will send Demi Moore $50 for some really good house slippers that she can wear, or some fuzzy socks. Everybody wants a good pair of fuzzy socks. That will solve this problem 100%.
Let's get her a gift card to Target and just be like, let's take up a collection. Let's get Demi a gift card to Target so she can go buy herself
$50 at Target to go get yourself some of them house slippers, and you're good to go.
Oh, doo-doo colored floor. Oh, you are the best. Oh.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
This is a segment that I came up with. I started it, and now everybody else is taking it. Everybody else is loving this.
What?
Oh, I'm getting messages from people about this, because it's the airing of the grievances now relates to the literal worst in the show.
The literal worst.
And we talked about, your throat concerns earlier. That was pretty bad. That's a legitimate worst. This is a literal worst. And this week, it's going to be, I saw this meme and it made complete sense. The meme was, in quotes, "I'm going to just get gas in the morning." That's one of the worst decisions you can make as an adult, because it never works out that way. And the day you say that, the next morning is the literal worst. Especially, I would say, especially for someone like you, Norma, or anyone who works odd shifts where you have to go in at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, or you're leaving at 11 o'clock at night, whatever it may be, waiting to the last minute to get gassed. You're an idiot.
Let me tell you something. So I used to play this game, right? I used to say, whatever. I'd say, like, I'm going to get gas in the morning, and other lies I tell myself, right? These are lies, I'm going to pack my lunch in the morning, and other lies I tell I'm going to lay out my clothes in the morning. I'm going to find my, and other lies I tell myself, because truly that was exactly the game I played. I would have my work bag ready, my keys by the door, my lunch bag already set up. I had the coffee underneath the coffee maker, and I had the thing on. I'm serious. I mean, I had to choreograph the morning, or it was not going to work out. I can't be thinking in the morning, and getting gas is the worst. That's a game you play, or you say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna ride these fumes all the way to work. Oh, you know what? That's when your car will drop dead on you.
See, the game I would play with that when it comes to the gas tank
somewhere
is, because now the cars tell you what the estimated mileage is until you can't drive anymore. Right. I pushed that thing down to 1 mile one time. There was a number 1 on there, and I was the windows were down so that the air conditioner didn't have to, all those wives' tales that you would tell yourself to try and save some gas.
You were not breathing.
I was on neutral for half the time. I'd press the gas, put the cruise control on, switch to neutral, and just let it coast down a hill. I was trying to save as much as I can, because I have 8 miles in my tank, and Siri says I have 6 miles to get to work. I can make it. I'm going to be late. The thing is, I was going to be late anyway. I'm late everywhere. I could have gotten gas so many times. I was going to be late anyway.
I pushed it too, though. I did too. I was terrible. I think toward the end, I was so bad. I was so bad. My coworkers were like, there she comes again, late as she can be,
Not even trying anymore, because you were checked out.
I checked out.
You were checked out.
I hate to say it, but I did. I was done. But
we all checked out.
That was tough. Yeah, so don't play the game. That's the literal worst. Don't play that game. My mother has a rule. Quarter tank of gas, go to the gas station. Quarter tank of gas. Lucy Holland's threshold is that's the lowest I'm willing to go.
My grandfather's threshold was 3/4 tank of gas. You're on empty. That thing was filled up almost every day. He was $2-3 at a time back then.
Was he the guy that was like, if you're 15 minutes early is on time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He was always, and he was sitting there and he was waiting. Sweet old man. He would sit there quiet, mind his business, but he would be there a half hour early to make sure that he got where he had to be. But he had gas. Be damn sure he had gas. And He was the man who I don't think he played that game. Maybe he did. But he was smart enough to know the other game you don't play with yourself. That came out wrong. The other game that you don't play in your mind is I'm going to iron my clothes the night before.
Nah.
Nope. Nope. Never happens. Never happens that way.
My mom used to have, first of all, does anyone iron their clothes anymore?
Not lately.
'Cause I have not touched an iron in years. I'm a Puerto Rican woman telling you this too. And so it's a shame. I feel some shame because ironing was one of like the skills my mother taught me as a kid that she was convinced I would need as an adult, right? And Lucy would have marathon ironing. My mother would have marathon ironing sessions on Sundays. I went to Catholic school and I needed 5 white blouses and 5 jumpers. And she would iron each one to make the pleats nice and crisp. And
Starch?
I have to say, starch, Niagara. I have to tell you though, to this day, when I see a man in a suit and he takes off his jacket and I look at his shirt, do you know what I'm looking for? What am I looking for?
The creases, the white crease.
If I see a crease in a man's like sleeve,
Ooh. If Dolph Lundgren shows up with a crease in his shirt,
no.
I'm losing it.
Oh,
You've
I'm
lost
sweating.
it. Sweat.
I'm a sweat. I'm gonna sweat right there.
You got that mustache sweat?
The crease, baby.
Gotta have the crease.
In your shirt.
Go get some gas, people. That's what you take away. Go scream in Iceland and get some gas. We're gonna see you next week.
Change your funky carpet too.